Hi, this is the Change and Grow Wellness Show, the show for you, the busy professional who wants to live a healthier, happier life with increased energy and productivity. And this show is powered by the amazing Men and Women of Power Network Radio. And I'm your host, Jackie Grant from We Grant Fitness and Health, and I transform busy female professionals' bodies and habits. And today we're talking about how to create a healthy work-life balance. And we've got Michelle Fanus here. And Michelle is our guest, and she's the founder of Dynamyk Events. Is that how it's said? Yeah?
Yes, Dynamyk Events, yeah.
Good. And Dynamyk Yoga. And she's a well-being advocate and a yoga ambassador. So welcome to the show, Michelle.
Hi. Happy to be here.
Good. Great to have you here. So, Michelle, just tell us a little bit about, it's really amazing how you've been able to bring in your love for yoga, which is one of your passions, into your business. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've been in the events business for, 19 years now, and got lots of experience, worked in very large-scale events, high-level events. And I've been practicing yoga as a way of, started that about 21 years ago, as a way of like managing stress, a way of downtime and me time and, really chilling out. And so, I am quite lucky to be able to blend the two, managing, using my event management skills to organize yoga retreats for teachers. And I've got an online video yoga website, which basically helps people that haven't got the time to do yoga at a gym, and they can do yoga in the comfort of their own home. So I am quite fortunate to be able to blend the two together. But it's because it's the cooperation of all the local teachers, yoga teachers, that have been able to come on board and work with me. And also there's an opportunity for me to offer my organising skills to yoga teachers who really just want to teach yoga. They're not interested in organising retreats and finding venues and things like that. I kind of offer those organising skills to them. So it's a match made in heaven, really.
That's brilliant. That's great. And you've been doing some work with organisations around work-life balance. How did that come about?
Funnily enough, I launched the business last year in July, and we just decided to sort of call up different companies and tell them about the website, raise awareness around the benefits of yoga and well-being and mindfulness, especially for members of staff in the workplace, productivity and stuff like that. And Innocent Soft Drinks got wind and decided that they were going to have a well-being day for their staff, and they invited me in to do a presentation, an hour-long presentation during the lunch hour of their staff. There were about 70 staff there, and just talking about sort of well-being tips and work-life balance and how to kind of manage stress and that kind of thing, sleep and all that kind of stuff. It was fun.
Because it's really important. I find that a lot of people are managing stress, but not only managing stress, but managing their work as well as the stress, as well as trying to balance everything, being a parent, maybe, being a grandparent, maybe, because grandparents still have a role to play in that, haven't really got the tools in order to get that done. So what types of things did you talk about?
I talked about things like obvious things like how to say no was a big one. A lot of people typically tend to be quite stressed and overwhelmed because they find it difficult to say no to something, especially in the workplace. If it's something that's going to make them overloaded or it's something they're not able to do. And I sort of said to them, there's lots of ways of saying no without actually saying no. It's more like, not now. Can we do it next week? Can we do it this afternoon? It's not, if somebody comes to your desk and say, can we meet about something now? You say, well, I'm a bit busy at the moment, or I'm in the middle of doing something. Can we meet this afternoon or next week? And so you manage that. So it's not about saying no, it's about saying not now or not at the moment. So that was one of the main things. And the other main thing that I found during the presentation was that a lot of people had challenges with sleep as well. And that was partly due to worry, stress, anxiety, but then sometimes also stimulants as well. So coffee, alcohol, things like that, too much sort of screen time and stuff like that. So it was just advice around that, you know, trying to reduce the amount of coffee that you have. And if you're going to have coffee, have it in the morning rather than the afternoon, because it's actually a stimulant. Have drinking more water, and then just you know, those sort of dietary kind of advice, that the dietary advice as well. And alcohol, as we know as well, can be a stimulant as well. And then sort of sleep, it's about being more in tune with the amount of sleep that you get, the quality of sleep that you get. Try not to use your mobile phone just before you go to bed, things like that. You know, switch your mobile phone off before bed and things like not having them in the bedroom. Just stuff like that, really. Yeah. And then I incorporated yoga and well-being and mindfulness and breathing in as tools to help people to sort of manage anxiety and stress as well. So, because it's quite a good tool for that, managing stress and having a better work-life balance, helping you to get better perspective on life.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sleep is really, really important. People don't actually realize how much it is, because it does impact on your productivity, also impacts on how your body operates. If you haven't got enough sleep, you know, so it's really important that people try to get to at least 7 to 9 hours.
Indeed.
You know, a lot of people but that's kind of, you know, in terms of, you know, making sure that it is of good quality is definitely, and alcohol, definitely not 2 or 3 hours before sleep, you know.
In fact, I've actually, funnily enough, also meant to mention that I'm working with a sleep coach, and we're launching 2 events. We're about to launch 2 events, a 1-hour lecture on the 20th of June and a 3-hour workshop on the 20th of July. So if anybody's interested in that, I'd be happy to sort of share more information. That's for people who have trouble sleeping, whether it's their environment, whether it's similar, and sort of generally find it difficult to switch off. That's kind of her area of expertise. And she goes into corporates and talks to members of staff, because obviously, as you rightly said, sleep impacts on productivity and productivity impacts on your ability to work and deliver in the workplace. So it's something that employers and companies are very conscious of and investing time in to help their staff to manage.
Yeah, definitely. So what are, you know, other things in terms of work-life balance? Because I know that people should be trying to make sure that they have a bit of time for themselves. You know, a lot of the time people are doing so many different things for other people and forget their self, really, you know?
That's right. Yeah, me time's like really, really important, you know. Parents, grandparents, like you say, people with a lot of responsibility at work are constantly on the go, you know, they're constantly reading emails, constantly receiving phone calls. There's lots of demands on them. So it's quite important to be able to have that time where you sort of shut down and get really quiet. So that could be like reading a book before you go to bed. It doesn't have to be anything too elaborate. It could be something really, really simple. Like I said, like reading a book before going to bed, tucking into your favorite program, you know, just having your time really. It could be a spa weekend or a spa break. Like my downtime, for example, I've just come back from having a swim. I had a swim and a sauna and a steam, and I do that because I wake up at 4:30 on a Wednesday morning. So by kind of 4 p.m. I kind of need that's kind of the natural end of the day for me. So so that my downtime is a, you know, 12, 14 lengths, 20 minutes of a swim and a sauna and a steam, and I'm kind of ready to go. So you have to find your own kind of recharge, basically. You have to kind of, the downtime and the reset, you have to have that reset. You can't just keep going on empty. That's what makes people sick and makes them get ill, and you know what I mean. You've got to be able to recharge yourself and reset, and have some downtime and some quiet time. And also part of that is rest and sleep is also obviously paramount for that downtime. And also downtime is the pampering time as well. It's all part of the pampering, isn't it? Making yourself feel really good. You know, your pampering and downtime might be retail therapy. It might be going out shopping with, you know, family members, sisters, cousins, and just enjoying girly time. Yeah, it doesn't have to be me time as an alone time. It might be social time. Whatever it is that makes you feel good and recharges your battery.
Exactly. Or even having a date night with your partner, you know, because
that's really
sometimes,
nice,
you know, we forget about all those kind of things, and, you know, we kind of get lost in our work and home life and not really thinking about, you know, the partnership that you may be in, that you need to look at that as well, and how you can incorporate that in.
Yeah, because you know, we're all busy women. You know, we want to achieve a lot. You know, we're always running. You know, we've got loads of balls in the air. I know I'm like that. I wouldn't find it difficult to switch off, but I enjoy my work, so I don't mind working and juggling a lot of things. You know, but yeah, you're right. You do have to have time for your partner, and date night's amazing. I actually one of the things I really enjoy, funnily enough. A lot of people think it's a chore, but I actually quite like cooking. That's also a kind of psychological end to the day as well. Sort of cooking something really, really nice. You know, I've got loads of cookbooks. You know, experimenting, going out and buying something really nice and fresh, some fresh fish or something. And I quite like cooking as well. I find that sort of downtime as well. You know, find it relaxing.
Definitely. Or even getting a chef round to cook.
Oh, yeah, no, that's amazing, right?
There's a lot more of those going on right now, you know. Like, you can get someone to come round, or you go round to theirs and, you know, have a meal and stuff like that. Someone's actually cooking for you, but it's not actually going to a restaurant, you know, a different type of
chef come in and prepare a meal for you. That's special.
Exactly. But it's, you know, it's sometimes we don't think about ourselves in that way. We don't, you know, appreciate what we do all the time and give ourselves something nice, you know. Think about everything, all your successes or achievements that you've had, you know, all those kind of things actually bring you to balance and actually make you feel really good. So it's about
you're right. And celebrate the pause, and the celebration is really important. Like, for example, I've just come back from my first yoga retreat that I've delivered with my yoga teacher, and it's you know, it was a real success. But I found myself, I came back on Friday evening absolutely shattered, you know, worked the whole week. It was an amazing week, did some amazing yoga, and was, you know, Tuscany is a fantastic place, but I still sort of was working, you know. But I found that I actually said to myself yesterday, Michelle, you just achieved this, you know, what have you done to celebrate yourself? You know, so I've decided and I've also won a new client today. I start a new project on Friday. So I've got a bottle of Prosecco in the fridge, and I'll be opening that tonight. So that's my because it's true, we kind of underestimate, or is it overestimate? I forget which way around it is now. Success after success after success, without pausing to say, well done there. You know, a lot of other people say it, you know, well done, congratulations. But you sometimes don't always pause to say, Michelle, well done. You know, you did good. You know, so,
and that's the thing. It's, you know, we need to like think about how can we, you know, celebrate in so many different ways. There's so many different ways of doing it. And you know, you having your prosecco tonight. You know,
I've got a spa break lined up.
Having someone clean the house this weekend instead of you doing it, you know.
Little things like that, you're right. And sometimes it's small things like buying flowers, you know, flowers when you go grocery shopping, you know, get yourself your favourite flower. It can be really, really simple things. It doesn't have to be expensive things at all.
Exactly.
You know,
you know, just appreciating and being grateful for you as an individual. Because we, you know, we tend to like do everything for other people so much, but, you know, thinking about ourselves is really important. I think another thing that's really important when we think about work-life balance is just making sure that you nourish yourself properly throughout your day, you know, making sure that you're getting the right foods in so that you feel nourished, well, you know. It's like you said about hydration, making sure that you're hydrated. All those things come into it, into play as well, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I never used to drink much water at all as a youngster, you know, and as I've got older, I've learned to appreciate sort of how my body functions much better once it's hydrated. And now I think my body's so used to having hydrated that it tells me when I'm lacking, you know, to kind of reprogram my body, or is it my mind? I don't know. But yeah, hydration's an important one, and I've made some dietary changes myself recently, sort of having more oily fish and having more nuts, you know, nut oils and things like that. And I've noticed the difference in my skin and so diets I think is absolutely key as well. Yeah. Making you feel good, you know, making you feel lighter, you're more kind of balanced through the day, hormonally, and sugar levels as well. Yeah, snacking as well is an important thing as well, snacking throughout the day. Yeah, I've learned so much about diet.
Yeah, no, it is really important. Like you say, hydration. I mean, no, I'm probably the same. I didn't drink as much. I've always got water around, but I didn't drink as much, you know, when I was growing up. And I probably thought because water didn't taste of anything, so you wasn't really invited.
Yeah, it didn't taste of anything. It needed to be, you know, squash or
exactly.
Or something. Yeah, that's a bit more interesting. Now I actually really like the taste of water, and I put lemon in it, and you know, squeeze of lemon and whatever. Yeah. So you still need that little bit of, you know, extra spice there. Makes a bit different, doesn't it?
And the thing is, you know, putting lemon in it adds that cleansing effect anyway. So it's really good doing that, especially in the morning when you wake up. It's like, you know, a glass of water with lemon, you know, because you're dehydrated from your sleep from the night before. So, you know, that first thing should be a glass of water anyway to hydrate yourself. And, you know, this is why sometimes people feel tired when they get up, but making sure that, you know, getting that in is really important as well. So, no, great. So tell us a little bit more about yoga, because yoga is definitely something that can help people with their work-life balance, and, you know, yoga, meditation, those kind of things, because, you know, even though people, you know, we go to, you know, some people, we go to the gym and we do heavy weights and all that kind of thing, but we forget about that kind of mindful, you know, just being, you know, in ourselves a bit more, because yoga is so much more quiet than, you know, someone jumping up and down and people make and whatever else the noises that people make. You know, tell us a bit about that and how that can create that, you know, that space for people, really.
Yeah, it's a magical practice. I've practiced for 20 years or so, and I came into it through meditation actually, and then practiced the physical aspect of the yoga practice. But yeah, it's a moving meditation basically, which is guided by the breath. So, you know, every posture is an inhale or an exhale, inhale, exhale. So you're bringing more oxygen to the body, rejuvenating all the organs and all the joints, and making your body feel more open. So whenever a person that's done yoga for the first time, they'll always say, oh, I feel lighter, I feel taller, I feel stretched, you know, and that's what that breath does, you know, the inhale, exhale kind of throughout the practice. And you have to make sure that you maintain that. It's quite hard. Some people hold their breath when they're, you know, when you're thinking, you kind of hold your breath and therefore kind of takes up, but it's a practice of just maintaining the inhale, exhale breath. And then the physical aspect is, yes, you know, the extra oxygen to the joint. You know, if you have tight joints or stiff joints, it's really good for helping you to sort of loosen those out and help with the stiffness. Like my partner, he started doing yoga because he had stiff, tight knees, always suffered getting in and out of the car. But he's been doing it for 2 years now, and I've never really heard him complain about that. And he's like very dedicated to his yoga now. So yes, it really helps with tightness in the joints. On a mental level, for me, it helps gives space in my brain. So it helps to empty the brain. If you've got an overactive mind, you can't switch off. Yoga meditation helps you to kind of still the mind, not control the thoughts, but just kind of calm the mind down, lower the body, lower the heart rate, and really calm everything down and become very still on the inside. So it helps you to basically become in tune with yourself. That's what I've found. Yeah, find that quiet place inside.
Yeah, that's a great analogy you've put there. So tell us, if there was someone that was thinking, oh, I don't really like yoga because it's a bit slow, which is what I hear all the time.
Yeah,
a bit slow. You know, I don't really see how that can really help me in terms of getting toned or strong or anything like that, because that's quite a lot of the time what I hear from people. So tell us a bit about what you'd say to someone that said that.
Yeah, but there's lots of different types of yoga. I mean, what I just described is for people who are overactive and they want to slow down. But there are some people that just want to keep that fire going. They're quite energetic, and there's types of yoga for that kind of person as well. So hatha yoga is what I've just explained. It's very kind of slow. It's very kind of, I won't say gentle, because you have to kind of hold poses for a while and you have to breathe into it. So you have to relax into them. Whereas Ashtanga yoga is a different kind of yoga. It's more energetic. It's more aerobic. And you end up sweating afterwards. So a lot of people think, really? Yoga? Sweating? But yeah, it depends on the style. And Ashtanga yoga is definitely more aerobic. You're moving more quickly. You know, the poses are linked. You know, you're moving more. It's more rapid and more dynamic. I mean, there's vinyasa flow as well, which is a combination of Ashtanga and flow. So you do the sun salutations, where you do upward dog, downward dog, plank, you know, and you can do that in a sequence, and you can do 3 or 4 rounds of that. And you're sweating afterwards, basically. It's a good workout. It's a good workout. So for those that say, oh, I need more, which sometimes I say that, I don't really need to be sitting still, I need to be moving. Ashtanga yoga is what that's for. So there's a real that you feel a real shift by the time you've exercised. You feel like you've really worked, you're sweating, and your heart rate's going. Yeah, Ashtanga yoga is for those kinds of people. And also harder postures as well. They're probably people that like to people like that probably like to challenge themselves. So they probably want to do the more difficult postures, probably the more sort of shoulder stand types, head stands, you know, the harder postures where they require arm strength, core strength, and leg strength. So they probably challenge themselves and want to go for those more difficult, more challenging postures as well. So yeah, Ashtanga yoga is for people like that.
So tell us a little bit about your online program. Just like, who's it for? You know, how can people access it? Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, before I launched the business, I was just bumping into loads of people and just telling them, you know, as you meet people in networking, I said, oh, you know, I do yoga to keep fit. And they say, really? I've always wanted to try that. Or they'll say, I've always wanted to try it. Or they'll say, I've tried it. I went to one class and people were so flexible and good that I felt really inadequate. So I sensed the kind of lack of confidence in trying to do yoga for the first time in a studio setting or a gym setting. So I developed this program to help beginners to yoga who've not tried it before to get used to some of the postures, get used to their own bodies, and trying to understand sort of what yoga is all about in the comfort of their own home. So they're pre-recorded material from 5 teachers, from 5 different teachers, all quite different. You know, we've got meditation, guided meditation, if that's what you want. We've got hip opening, a very kind of slow shoulder release, neck release, stretches, sort of what we call yin-based hatha yoga. We've got some vinyasa flow in there, to make you feel fabulous, feel like, you know, you've had an all-over body workout. We've got sort of more stronger stuff going on where if you want to feel that you want to really build up your core strength, that's in there. So yeah, there's something for everyone, really. All the teachers are all very different, and they offer something based on what you're looking for. It's all a 5 and 15 minute video material. It's subscription based. It's £30 for 6 months, which is for the beginners, and they get about 8 videos, and £50 for a year, and they get all.
Wow, that's reasonable. So it's
Yeah.
£30 for 6 months,
Yeah,
and £50 for the year.
yeah, and
That's
they get all the
amazing.
videos. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
And then also, if they want the ones that have a year, they can have a couple of Skype calls with any of the teachers of their choice as well, to kind of help them through their practice, or if they've got any questions around what the teachers are doing on the video. The other point is the videos are very tutorial based. A lot of the video material out there at the moment, yoga teachers are just putting a camera in front of themselves and doing a flow. There's not a lot of communication. There's not a lot of what am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to do with my arm? Is it like this? Is it like this? How do I feel? So it's a lot of guided verbal guidance, as well as the postures being done. So yeah, it's a demonstration basically.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. That's great. So guys, definitely, if you are looking to begin yoga, that is so reasonable, and it's got really good tutorials. So there you go. So
and
Michelle,
the website is dynamyk.com.
There you go, dynamyk.com. So Michelle, so you do retreats. So tell us a bit about retreats, because they're really, these are important things for work-life balance. A different type of holiday for someone to go on. Instead of your usual, going to, you can go to a hot place still, but it's actually more about relaxing and restoring your body and mind all at one, and come back and you're refreshed. Rather than you're knackered after you've just done the holiday.
Running around. Because anything like my holiday is sort of packed with, especially if you've not been to the destination before, running about trying to pack everything in. Yeah, so yoga holidays, which is what we do, which is what I do. It's not a boot camp style level. There's a market for that, but that's not what we do. The teachers I work with, it's more about connection for the people that come along, rejuvenation, rest, a bit of me time, bit of pampering, and a holiday. So typically, what I generally tend to develop as a what I think has worked, because my first retreat was in Tuscany last week, and it was a real success. So we do a week, 5 to 7 days a week. Break, 2 yoga classes a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, sort of 90 minutes. So it's quite a long class, but it's nice, really long class. In the morning, have breakfast, then you've got the whole day to yourself. So you can go out on an excursion, or you can just hang out at the venue, hang out by the pool, your time to just read or whatever. And then we've got another class in the evening, and then we have dinner. So that's like a typical day. And then I will have thrown in a couple of excursions. So we have a wine tasting experience. I mean, if you're in Tuscany, it'd be rude not to, really, wouldn't it? Have a nice wine tasting experience. So we had an amazing, the best sommelier wine sommelier in Tuscany come to our venue and give us a wine tasting experience. That was on the first night. So we had 21 ladies and 1 man.
Oh, poor guy.
He came with his wife. So 21 ladies and 1 man, and they all bonded. It was that first evening we did the first yoga class, and then we had a wine tasting, and we just everyone just got to know one another, really.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and then we had an excursion, so I'll have, I won't pack too many things into the week, give people enough time to have enough downtime where they've got time for themselves, but also give them the experience of, where we are. So we went to one of the local famous towns for the day, and then we did the wine tasting. And then the days that we were in the villa, there were 2 days that we were in the villa, there were optional classes of Zumba and cooking. So there's a cooking class. So it's fun. It's fun. So there's yoga, but then there's also kind of the opportunity to explore the destination, do some fun activities. and then hang out, because we had a beautiful pool, a pool area. So the last day we just all sort of hung out there, faffed about and played around with postures and stuff, and took loads of pictures by the pool. Loads were just sort of just hanging out reading, and it was really nice. So yeah, it's a yoga holiday. It's a yoga holiday. It's an opportunity for people who practice yoga to kind of get more into it, and those that have never practiced it to start. Because we had it was half and half actually. We had a lot of people, we had a lot of people who practice with Davina, who's the teacher, and I practiced with her for 5 years. She teaches in about 5 different locations. Fitness First in Ilford. There's my gym in Chinkford, a gym in Wanstead. So she had students from all of those places where she teaches, but then they brought family and friends who've never practiced yoga before. So it's basically half and half. They came along for the holiday, but they also wanted to explore yoga and sort of see what this wonderful teacher Davina was all about. So the idea, it's not a boot camp style retreat for yogis that are kind of really good and really kind of flexible and all that, and it's not any of that. It's very inclusive. It's for people to come, try, explore, do what you can, and just enjoy, have a good time and enjoy the holiday. And that's all of my retreats. I'm going to build that way because it's a real success. It was a sellout. So that's how I'm going to roll, really. Yeah,
that's great.
It's good fun.
So when's your next one?
The next one, I'm building a weekend retreat with a teacher called Purvi. She's authentic. She's from India, and she wants to do a weekend retreat in Suffolk in October. So that's going to be fun. There's going to be mandala drawing and meditation and vision boards and things like that. So that's going to be fun. And then I'm doing with another yoga teacher I practice with at Nuffield. We're doing a week's retreat to the Gambia in December.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's 27th of December to the 3rd of January. So that's a week over New Year. So it's going to be a New Year African party. So it's going to be cool. It's very, very cool. So, yeah. And then there's a couple of other ones. I've got a well-being specialist that wants to do a retreat to the Marrakesh and to Zanzibar at some point next year. That's going to be kind of more about well-being, nutrition, personal training, and a mixed bag really. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Yeah, I've probably got about 4 or 5 in the pipeline. We'll go back to Tuscany again in June next year with Davina. So,
great.
All fun and games.
Great. Sounds amazing, Michelle. It's been wonderful having you on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's good. So where can people find you? Do you want to say your website? I know it's in the description. Just let people know.
Yeah, so the yoga website is dynamyk.com. So that's DYNAMYK yoga.com. You can catch me on, I have got a Dynamyk Yoga Facebook page, but you can also get me as Michelle Fanus on Facebook, and I always post stuff about what I'm doing on there. My Twitter handle is @Dynamyk Events, and I've got a LinkedIn profile as myself, Michelle Fanus, as well. So, yeah,
okay,
I think
great.
And my phone number is 07817 701 413 if anyone wants it.
Cool. So Michelle, what final thoughts have you got in terms of people creating a healthy work-life balance?
Slow down is probably the most important thing. Yeah, but everybody's rushing these days. They're always in a hurry. Slow down, go at your own pace, breathe. Yoga is all about breath and breathing. If you can change the way you breathe, you can change your life. Okay, so you got to make sure that you breathe deeply from your abdomen and not from your chest, and that will make an amazing difference to your life. You'll slow right down, your thoughts will slow down, everything will slow down. So breathe. If you do nothing else, change the way you breathe, slow down, and make sure you get some me time in.
Brilliant. Thank you, Michelle. It's been great having you on.
Thanks for having me.
So guys, that's the end of our show today. It's been wonderful. So make sure that you listen to this over again, and get those tips and start to build in like small habits that you can build into your life. You don't have to do all of them at once. Just take in as many as you can, over a year period if it needs to be. Yeah, but make sure that you try to create that work-life balance for you. So take care.
Bye.